Good evening and welcome to Powell's Books at Cedar Hills Crossing. We are excited to welcome tonight's guest, local author Timothy Zahn, on release day for his newest Star Wars book, Thrawn. In addition to a dozen Star Wars novels, Timothy Zahn has also written multiple science fiction series, including the Cobra books, the young adult Dragonback series, the Quadrille series, short stories, tie-in novels, and 2 novels in David Weber's Honorverse. With Heir to the Empire's release in 1991, the reading public began its fascination with the character of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Over the course of the Thrawn Trilogy and other Star Wars novels, Thrawn has proven to pose a significant military challenge to the leaders of the New Republic. With the release of Thrawn, we learn how Admiral Thrawn climbed the ranks of the Empire to become the strategist we have come to both admire and dislike. Before we begin, we would like to thank the members of the Cloud City Garrison of the 501st Imperial Legion and the Keswick base of the Rebel Legion for coming tonight. Please help me welcome local author Timothy Zahn.
Hello, thank you all for coming out. We have a rule against hecklers that would be enforced by the stormtroopers back there, just letting you know in advance. What I think we'll do is just spend a couple of minutes talking about how the book came to be and open up for questions, and then we'll go directly and sign some books for you all. End of September 2015, we went to, I guess it was probably mid-September, we were at Salt Lake City Comic-Con and met up with an old friend, Powell, who was part of the story group at Lucasfilm, and wound up having dinner with him and a few other people. And as always, a couple of us pointed out that, we'd be happy to do more Star Wars books someday. Scoundrels, I think 2013, had been my last Star Wars book. My agent periodically would poke the editor and say, Tim's still available for Star Wars books. And she would say, yeah, we know. We don't have anything for him right now. So pitched this to Pablo, and about, he was as non-committal as all Lucasfilm people are when they're not supposed to talk about something, which means a lot of nodding and sounds. So a couple of weeks later, I got an email from Lucasfilm saying they'd like me to come down and chat with Dave Filoni about Star Wars. Okay, Dave Filoni is up to his eyebrows in Star Wars Rebels at the moment. Okay, what could this mean? Sure, I'm game. I'd love to come down and talk. And so we had emails back and forth. I had a hugely busy schedule at that point, so the first time we were going to be able to do anything was mid-November. So I'm off on travels, we're exchanging emails, trying to pin down times. I'm gradually getting little bits and pieces. Okay, Dave's going to be there. The story group, the publishing department. Okay, this sounds like a book, but why is Dave Filoni involved? So little bits and pieces. I keep trying to nudge for information. Can you tell me what this is all about? We just want to chat about Star Wars. And Dave's budgeting 2 hours to do this. Okay, red flag. Dave Filoni is very busy with Rebels. He is not budgeting 2 hours just to chat about Star Wars. But they're being very quiet about it. And got to Lucasfilm. Got to San Francisco, waiting for luggage. I checked email one more time, and here comes the final kicker. Oh, by the way, there may be a film crew there. Is that going to be a problem for you? Okay, something is definitely going on. I like Talon Card. I don't like surprises. So I get to Lucasfilm. Their editor, John Heddle, takes me to lunch in their cafeteria. I'm way too nervous to eat much of anything. Get to the conference room. We're a little bit early. She vanishes off someplace else. The film crew is there, 3 or 4 guys. They say hello, introduce themselves. Okay, we got a table like this. This is obviously the head, because here's where all the snackage is. Okay, here's the head of the table. I'm going to sit down here until I figure out what's going on. And people start drifting in, and Pablo comes in. I say hello, and Leland comes in with Chi, and say, you know what's going on? He said, oh yeah. Big grin. And I'm thinking, yeah, someday, Leland, I'm going to know something you don't know. I'm not going to tell you either. And Leland says, here, why don't you move up closer to the head of the table? Okay, where the film crew is aiming their camera. Okay. And people keep drifting in, and it's always, hi, I'm so-and-so, you know, part of the story group, big fan. So, okay, I'm not in trouble. We know this much, and we figured this much out. They don't fly me down to California if I'm in trouble. They just yell at me over the internet. And finally, Dave Filoni comes in with, you've seen Dave Filoni's grin, he's got one of those on. And he seats himself next to Carrie Hart at the head of the table, and then they drop this bombshell on me that wanted to let you know that season 3's one of the main villains is going to be Grand Admiral Thrawn. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but it seems to me it was something like the internet is going to melt. So we talked about it for a few more minutes. They took me down, showed me a little bit of a film clip of the scene where Thrawn and Governor Price walk into the series for the first time in that first episode. Then I got to go down to meet all of the people running the Rebels, you know, the bullpen and everything. And then several of us went upstairs, 4 of us, and we discussed, they said, we'd like you to do a prequel book to the series. And we discussed for a while, okay, when do you need it by? When is it going to be published? Discussed a little bit about how it would work. I already had a couple of ideas just from that one little film clip. Okay, I'm hearing what they're saying. Okay, I know how to twist that to bring it back to where I would like it. So finished that, back to my hotel. This is on Friday. Sunday, I flew down to Blizzard for my first meeting with them about the StarCraft novel I was doing. So my brain goes from Star Wars to StarCraft. And about a week and a half later, we flew down to Brazil for 3 weeks of doing conventions and bookstore signings. Mind you, I've had to sign 2 non-disclosure agreements at this point. The boilerplate one before you get out of any of the building lobbies, and the special one they made me sign outside of the Rebels thing. So I am going to be talking to people. I'm going to be spending 3 weeks in Brazil, and I can't talk about this at all. I learned how to lie without lying, because I didn't want to lie to people. The trick is you answer the question that was not asked. The question would be, are you ever going to write another Star Wars book? And the answer is, if they ever want me to do another Star Wars book, they know where to find me. Which sounds enough like an answer that most people didn't notice the difference. And now they're going to notice my secrets. If I know something else ever in the future, I'm going to be trapped very quickly. But I'm not anticipating anything. Of course, I wasn't anticipating this either. So anyway, we were keeping mum about this for about 8 months before it was revealed. It's Celebration Europe in London. Been fielding questions and comments, everything ever since, and it's been up to, now, it's always been, okay, it's in the future, and now suddenly the book release is now. And I find myself hearing Inigo Montoya saying, it's very strange. I've been in the Thrawn business for so long, I don't know what to do with the rest of my life. But I think we'll figure out something. I have a couple of other sequel ideas I'm pitching to Del Rey, and it's running it through the gauntlet of, I think it's gone through the story group, and it's now going through the Rebels group, and a lot of what happens in the books will depend on what happens in the future in Rebels. And since they are very stingy with information, at this point I've only had little bits and pieces. But hopefully we'll get something else, because I've got a couple of ideas I think would be fun to write, and hopefully fun to read as well. So that's the story of how Thrawn came to be, and it was at that first meeting, by the way, that Michael Siglain, I think his name is, at Lucasfilm said, I've been thinking that the way to the title of this thing is simply Thrawn. So, okay, I didn't have anything better, let's go with that. Makes for nice quick statements and such. So let's open up to questions, and we will spend 15, 20 minutes on that, or as many questions as you've got, and then we'll go on and sign some books.